hello, sweetheart. I called Scooter earlier, and she answered the phone like Mr. Mark Ashley. She said, hello, or something like that. It just sounded like Mr. Mark Ashley. So I said, hello, sweetheart. And she goes, what is that about? And I said, you sounded like Mr. Mark Ashley, sweetheart. Anyway, hi, I should be in live chat. Sorry I'm late. Margot, Ashley, Sherry. My coffee is black. L. What's this here? I know a bunch of them are in Zoom. Hi, Linda. Anyway, I was watching this trial. Today they finally had some people on that were not just DNA experts. And hi, Isabel. And so they showed some surveillance camera footage of Walmart, which was absolutely excruciating and painful. He never brought it ahead. Like, you think that he would say, look, this footage goes on for an hour and a half where we're just watching these people in the cosmetics aisle. Cut to the chase, okay, let's move it ahead to 1759, and you see this is from this. It was just crazy, and it was all about them returning items, phones in this kiosk, not a kiosk, it looked like an ATM machine. I never even knew they had such a thing. And they got $1 for one of their Samsung A something phones. So, oh no, did I disable your Zoom? Oh boy, was I the host? Oh boy. Oh, I was your host? Yikes. Sorry about that. I'll enable it in a few minutes. I'll restart it again in a few minutes. It needed to be restarted anyway. Sorry about that. I didn't realize that. I must have been the host. You know, the cult leader that I am. Isn't it amazing that I have no problem relinquishing the host to anyone? Isn't that funny? Okay. Now they've got to talk here. I know, right? Yeah, you'll have to talk in here until I open up another one. But they had, I think it was the other woman was the girlfriend that hi Jane Grill. I know, Holly, right? I can't believe that. I didn't mean to do that. But the other girl, she lost her life, right? I think I don't know what her cause of death was. I think I know what it might have been. But she was one of the ones that was returning her phone along with Adam. And Adam had a sweatshirt on at first. He took it off. He had some kind of Gucci hat on. It looked like it probably was a knockoff. I was just surprised. He was pulling his pants up. But what people need to understand, and about the U-Haul, because Holly asked me about the U-Haul, you have to realize Harmony was killed in 2019. And we're talking about footage you're seeing now at the end of December of 2021. It's over 2 years. When they found out that Harmony wasn't around anymore, they lost 2 years. Any surveillance footage, anything that was current to that time is gone, was written over, was gone. So they lost so much, okay? They were able to go back and check the sheetrock in that FIT shelter, Family in Transitions, but they flushed out pipes. Again, that was testimony today, and stuff was going through a sifter to see if there was anything with pipes. They had a project manager that was on that said that she saw Kayla when she was beat up once, okay? But that doesn't mean that Kayla didn't have anything to do with Harmony's death, right? Yeah. There's not going to be court on Monday because of President's Day. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Let's see what else. I didn't even look at Trichonis today. Let's see what did anything earth-shattering happen with Trichonis? Okay. Oh. The judge in the Trichonis case will not take up a contempt hearing on Friday. The judge decided not to take a formal contempt hearing over some documents the public was never supposed to see. It said the court will schedule a contempt hearing at the earliest after the defense rests. That's interesting. Let's take a look at this because I have to catch up on this case here. So Thursday, as the court was closing up, after the jury left, state prosecutors told the judge that someone in the courtroom gallery raised a concern that Michelle Trichonis had part of a sealed custody report on display on her laptop in the court's view. Interesting. Let's see. The concern the state has is this notion that she would have access on her device to a report that starts off that a member of the audience is able to see, which is clearly under seal. So that is concerning. The second major point is that was displayed for the public with a news camera behind us, and she shouldn't even have read it to begin with. Wow, what did she have it on her laptop there for? I don't even understand why she would have that in the courtroom. Kevin Randolph, the judge, said Friday there will be no computer use in the courtroom other than by counsel. There will be no communication with the gallery at any time and no attempts to show approval or disapproval of a witness's testimony. Let's see. He said, and I quote, "The court is not going to become a hallway monitor. So if there are efforts to communicate with the jury or a witness, you will be removed. No hearing, just removed." Earlier, the state guardian ad litem, Michael Meehan, was on the stand. As appointed guardian ad litem, his role was to represent the Dulos children's best interest during the divorce proceedings between Jennifer and Fotis. He testified about the ups and downs of the custody process. He said Fotis was down. He was concerned, he was upset following a custody ruling that barred Michelle Trichonis from having contact with the children, and he claimed it was impacting his relationship with her. He then referenced a call he had with Fotis Dulos and Michelle Trichonis in March of 2019. He indicated that he was concerned that the continued litigation would have an adverse impact on his relationship with Ms. Trichonis. Following the phone call, Meehan then described Fotis Dulos' reaction following a custody report completed the month before Jennifer Dulos disappeared. He was a combination of emotions. I think on one hand he was encouraged, and on the other hand he was upset and outraged. The prosecutors used the testimony to take aim at the heart of the defense. They offered in prior days of the trial that their case revolves around the lack of motive that Fotis had to kill Jennifer because the custody case was leaning in his favor, while the defense argues that Fotis had given Michelle Trichonis the impression even in the days leading up to Jennifer's presumed murder, that the custody battle was leaning in Fotis' favor. But the defense was met with multiple objections as they began to pry into the contents of that report, which the judge deemed inadmissible. The court tightened the reins around the testimony from Meehan per a ruling by the judge on Wednesday that kept the contents of the report out of the testimony. Then the jury saw new surveillance video from a neighbor of Fotis Dulos, and the final testimony of the day was FBI Special Agent Kevin Hoyland, who traveled from New Hampshire for testimony about cell phone records seized from AT&T that confirmed, Kevin Hoyland, he is also the guy that was out in Colorado, wasn't he? I've heard a lot of Kevin Hoyland, yeah. What they had been learned in prior testimony. Okay, so let's see. We're getting some music playing, so let me go back and see what's going on here. Nora Woods, thank you for being a Deputy Rambler member for 45 months. You say, love you, sweet lady, love you right back, Nora. Thank you. And Rich Guillaume, welcome to Deputy Rambler. Welcome, Rich. Glad you're joining the Ramblers. Wouldn't you like to be a Rambler, too? I'm giving away gold bars. Yeah. Everybody gets one. They're under your seat, Rich. Just reach under your seat and grab your gold bar. And one out of the 147 we're giving away tonight is real. The others are simulated. Okay, so let's see. So yeah, I don't know when this trial is going to end here. It's getting crazy. Let's see what we have. Defense scores victory. Let's see here. So on Wednesday, it was a win for Michelle Troconis's defense team, following a motion filed to exclude testimony from Connecticut's chief medical examiner, Dr. James Gill. Her attorney, John Schoenhorn, said, and I quote, he didn't look at anything that required his expertise, so anyone could come to the same conclusion. The state had planned to have Dr. Gill testify about his determination that Jennifer Dulos was likely dead based on information he had been given from investigators on the case. It's largely the same evidence jurors have already seen during the first 4 weeks of the trial. Okay, so they didn't have to go through that. Let's see what else we had. We had the new surveillance footage on Wednesday of Fotis dropping off and picking up Paolo Gumiani's Toyota Tacoma from the car wash and detail in Avon, Connecticut. The manager talked about various cleaning agents that were used, including shampoo and all-purpose cleaners. Video surveillance from inside the detailing business showed Fotis paying cash for the service. Fotis left no name for the car, and the wrong model Toyota was listed. He left Michelle Troconis' phone number as the number to call when the detailing was complete. And her attorney clarified that information outside court Thursday saying that his client's number was listed next to the Sienna. He said it was a Toyota Sienna in error, but that error was on the part of the car wash employee. The time the Sienna arrived didn't line up with the time the Tacoma is seen on this surveillance. He speculated the employee put down the number on the wrong line of the service log, and it was not Fotis offering false information. Okay, let's see. The jury saw new surveillance footage from a home on Weed Street in New Canaan. The footage showed a person investigators believed to be Fotis riding a bicycle in the direction of Jennifer Dulos' home the morning she disappeared. A little while later, that camera picks up what investigators believe is Jennifer Dulos' Chevy Suburban, which was headed back in the opposite direction toward Lapham Road, where her Suburban was ultimately found later that evening. Okay, so that's just, and nobody's going again be having any kind of testimony on Monday because it is a holiday. Let's go to AITA Montgomery trial. Let's see here. Okay, so there was a witness today that did not want to be shown. And everybody was like, what is up with that? What is up with that, right? So he told a friend of his that he effed up shortly before allegedly disposing of Harmony Montgomery, his 5-year-old daughter's body. Let me see here. Let me see if I can get you a picture of this. So this friend, Mr. Beach, was on the stand, and I'm trying to get you the video. Not the video. The surveillance. Okay, so he talked about this Facebook message, and I read about this the other night in the documents. I read about this. So, come on, get over there. Please don't message me stuff like this on Facebook again. Travis Beach told the court that he's not sure what Adam did with the U-Haul. And I quote, he said, honestly, I felt like I didn't need to ask. I saw all his stuff packed up. He said he had problems with DCFS, so I thought he was trying to move. He messaged Adam on Facebook on the 4th of March 2020 after Adam failed to return the U-Haul on time. And Adam replied, please don't message me stuff like this on Facebook again. And Mr. Beach said that he was not allowed to talk to Kayla Montgomery. Michael Doby, who worked at the Manchester Walmart, told jurors that he was asked by police to hand over surveillance video from the 30th of December 2021. Now remember, when we're seeing this is about the phones and stuff, it is over 2 years from the date that Harmony Montgomery is believed to be killed, according to the testimony of Kayla. In the footage, Montgomery, Kayla, and another woman are seen entering the store. Now, see, they say that's Kayla, but then in the footage, it does not appear to be her, and they say it's someone else. They say it's small, right? Or is that... I don't know. That was very confusing. We just watched it again. They were taking turns at the Eco ATM. which is like an electronic pawn shop. People can get cash for electronic devices. It takes a really long time. They were there like crazy amount of time. So they had 4 transactions made by Kelsey Small, Montgomery's then girlfriend. She died in March of 2022. See, I don't know why they're saying. Montgomery's Facebook account was logged on one of the phones sold by Small at the Eco ATM, and he got these phones back. The defense cross-examined the witness, and he said he couldn't say for sure whether the messages were sent from that specific device and can only testify that the account was accessed on that phone. She also said that after the jury left, the woman on the defense team said that someone called the tip line and that there was something about having other witnesses coming forward. Then the state had given them a recording of the interview. She said, I have not gone through it. We certainly have someone trying to go through it. I don't know, and I don't need to name this person. I don't know if we will be seeking to call this person. It's sort of a puzzle with sequestration when it's actually based on watching, as far as I know, the trial. So apparently they called the tip line Tuesday after having watched the trial for several days. One of the prosecutors said she came into the station to be interviewed and provided a statement. The report was sent to the prosecutors an hour later, and Judge Amy Messer ordered that that individual be advised she should not continue watching the trial in case they're going to call her as a witness. And where did I just have the oh, here, yeah. I don't know how much freaking this we watched. Now, he was wearing this Gucci hat, which probably was a knockoff in my opinion. And this is who I believe was his then girlfriend, not Kayla. But they're in this cosmetic aisle. He looks like he's carrying some kind of a new track phone. He had one time had a sweatshirt jacket on with his, his zippered sweatshirt jacket, but that is off. Later on, there's some surveillance footage they show where a police officer walks up to the car. He then has that jacket, but like, what did he do with that jacket in the store? Did he run it out to the car? What was he doing? I don't know. And I don't know. Kevin said that he's very tall. I don't think he's very tall. In all the surveillance footage, he's not much taller than this woman. So I don't know how tall he is. I don't know why Kevin thinks that he's very tall. I don't know why. Maybe Kevin's wrong again. That should not surprise me. Okay, let me see here. Then there was Tara Hilbert. She was the building manager at the Fit Shelter. I told you this. She said that Adam had beat up Kayla pretty bad. She was crying. She was affected by it. She said really bad. Her eyes, her nose. She had blood on her face. She said that Adam Montgomery had voiced that he missed Harmony, and that conversation came up. Where was she? And he said Lowell, Mass. Let's see. Then I said they had that other investigator that told about the flushing out of the pipes. And yesterday was the day they were bringing in all the stained drywall, and oh my gosh, so much stuff. The cooler, everything. But like the drywall piece, all of that was brought in. And so again, no court on Monday. And and Adam is not in court for the 8th day. He's not in court. Let's see what else is going on in the rest of the world here. Two people are arrested in the death of a mother and an infant found on the side of an Arkansas highway. This was the other day. Let's see. So 27-year-old T'Angela Tate and her 2-month-old son, Noel Mott, were found deceased off the side of an interstate on-ramp. Now that is similar to that other case where the mother was found dead, but it appeared she was killed elsewhere and the car crashed into something, but where a child was found alive in the passenger seat next to her. But over here, Willie Mott Jr. was initially arrested on an unrelated warrant and then later charged with a capital murder in the death of T'Angela and her 2-month-old son. He was also charged with attempted murder of his second child found at the scene, who was 1.5 years old, who has been hospitalized since they were found. That is horrendous, because that means that, you understand, that 1.5-year-old child, that is most likely his mother and his brother. Now he's, they're alone. It's just so senseless, and the ramifications and the lifelong ramifications of this stuff is just horrible. I feel so bad for all of them. And then that 1.5-year-old little boy is now in the hospital without a mother, without a brother, and it's horrendous. So anyway, but that's not all. There was another person arrested. Let me get their pictures up here. These people that were arrested for this murder, killing babies, killing mothers. And let's not forget that the name here of the little boy is Noel Mott. The man that was arrested is Willie Mott Jr., 43 years old. And he was the father of the infant and was in a relationship with T'Angela, the 27-year-old. Detectives believe that he shot and killed T'Angela at the apartment where they lived. Police also arrested his mother, 70-year-old Diane Mott, charging her with hindering apprehension or prosecution and tampering with physical evidence. Okay, so she's protecting her son, who killed the woman who he was involved with, who was also the mother of her grandson, and killed her grandson. And she's harboring him, and okay. Both of them are being held at the Pulaski County Regional Detention Center, and he is set to appear in court on Saturday morning. Unbelievable. Some of this stuff is just unbelievable. 2 teenagers are charged in connection with that deadly shooting at Kansas City Chiefs celebration. Now, we went through a lot of that yesterday. But let's recap anything new. The chief of police of Kansas City, Stacey Graves, said the shooting, which killed one person and left 22 other people with gunshot wounds, half of them being children, started because of a dispute between several people at the parade and rally. 3 people were initially detained, but the third was released when investigators determined he had no connection to the shooting. The 2 teens have been charged as juveniles. And that was announced by Jackson County Family Court Division Friday. A spokesperson for that court division said that more charges are likely as police continue their investigation. Police said they're looking for more suspects. Because they've been charged as juveniles, that's all the information that will be given because of their age. And we'll have to see what else happens. Now, we've been talking about that wilderness camp, and there's some additional information. So let me get a graphic up there so we can get, if I do make it, hang on. Okay, so let's put up a graphic there. There we go. Okay, so all of the children now at Trails Carolina, the wilderness camp where the 12-year-old boy lost his life a day after, less than 24 hours after being there, have been removed. North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services made the announcement Friday morning, and I quote, "It was determined that action needed to be taken to ensure the health and safety of the children. While the investigation is ongoing and we cannot comment on specific details, it was determined that action needed to be taken to ensure the health and safety of the children." A forensic pathologist said the victim, who died the day after he arrived at Trails Carolina, his cause of death appeared to not be natural. And then we read the documents that showed what happened when the sheriff's office had officers who were called to the scene on Saturday morning and what they found, and about that bivy bag that was used. So let's see. So all of the children have been removed. Oh, and then yeah. We have updates on the Stamping Up daughter, founder's daughter, Shannon Gardner. That is And over there. So let's see where So there could be more people involved with the 2022 death of Jared Brightigan. There were new court documents that were released, and other people's names were redacted, although an arrest warrant stated that one of them was a former reserve police officer. The officer, who is a convicted felon, was also known to carry a 10-millimeter handgun, police said. Brightigan's former wife, Shanna Gardner, is facing charges of first-degree murder, solicitation to commit a capital felony, and conspiracy to commit murder. On February 16th, now that was the anniversary, 2 years of that horrific ambush and execution of Jared Brightigan, who was a Microsoft software engineer. That was the 2-year anniversary of that horrific scene when his daughter was in the back seat of the car outside of in St. Augustine on his way home after he dropped his twins that he had with Shannon off at the house. It was completely arranged. They put a tire in the road. He got out. When he got out, he was ambushed and execution style killed with a 2-year-old in the back seat that witnessed the entire thing. And horrific. So that's what happened then, and she has let's see here. So there is an application for order, interception, and recording of communications between the homicide of Jared Brightigan. So it says, summary, shortly before 8 p.m. on Wednesday, February 16th of 2022, Jared Brightigan was murdered in what is best described as a contract murder or hit. Immediately before his murder, Brightigan was driving home on a dark, isolated road named Sanctuary Boulevard with his 2-year-old daughter. He stopped, put on his hazard lights, and stepped out to remove a large tire lying in the roadway. It was then that he was shot multiple times. Casings were recovered from the crime scene. Other than the murderers and the victim, the only other witness to the murder was Brightigan's 2-year-old daughter, who told Child Protection Team investigators, and that is redacted. Without context, Brightigan's murder appears to be completely random. He was not armed. There is no evidence of a struggle. His murderers did not steal his wristwatch, his wedding ring, his phone, his money, or his wallet. His truck was not stolen, and his daughter was left unharmed. In contrast to the stark randomness of the murder, there are relationships, circumstances, and investigative facts and evidence that suggest Brightigan's murder was anything but random. Instead, the investigation reveals Brightigan's murder is the culmination of events that began on February 23, 2015, when his wife, at the time, Shanna Lee Gardner, filed for divorce for reasons that will be outlined in greater detail. The investigation has identified 5 people likely involved in a conspiracy to murder Jared Brightigan. And the first person is Shanna Gardner, Brightigan's ex-wife. The second person is Mario Fernandez Saldana, Gardner's new husband. And then they have redacted the third and fourth person. And the fifth person, Henry Tenon, was the person that helped them. He took a deal, and he's the one that brought the information about Mario and Shanna. Through the investigation, it became clear Gardner possessed a motive to murder Brightigan, whom she met and married in 2010. At the time, they were both devout Mormons. They produced twins born in 2013, and they relocated to Northeast Florida because of a medical condition that required one of the twins to live at sea level. Though their initial dissolution decree was entered in 2015, Brightigan and Gardner returned to court yearly, litigating various contested issues. Their dissolution decree did not permit Gardner to move the children out of the state without an agreement of the parties or a court order. While they shared their Mormon faith when they married, Gardner either began to leave or abandon her faith around the time that she and Bridegan divorced and into her second marriage. After her divorce, Gardner married Mario Enrique Fernandez Saldana in April of 2018. By her admission to law enforcement and others, her marriage to Fernandez Saldana was one of convenience. She told police she did not know him well when they married. She wanted him to help with the kids, but knew Bridegan would not allow it unless she married Fernandez Saldana. Now, I believe he was her physical trainer, and I believe Bridegan gave that as a gift to his then wife, Shanna, if I'm correct on that. Like Gardner, Bridegan remarried. Bridegan and his new wife, KB, were married in 2017 and had 2 children. KB agreed to raise their children in the Mormon faith, unlike Gardner. 2 weeks before the murder, on January 24th, 2022, Bridegan sent Gardner an email telling her he was planning to have one of the twins baptized in the Mormon Church. Their twin daughter started to favor Bridegan and his new wife, KB, and wished to be more involved in the Mormon faith. Fernandez Saldana confirmed to police that there was a contentious relationship between Bridegan and Gardner, and between himself and Bridegan. A relative of Bridegan's told police that Gardner commented in 2017 about hiring a hitman to take him, Bridegan, out. To take him, Bridegan, out. Multiple witnesses said that Shanna Gardner hated Bridegan and was frustrated by their custody agreement and the differences in their parenting choices. Shanna told police she would only communicate with Bridegan through text messages and would not interact with him during their child exchanges. Fernandez Saldana said the kids were better off with Bridegan out of the picture. He told police that he and Gardner were trying to gain majority, if not full custody of the twins because they were tired of consulting with Bridegan. Along with her motive, Gardner's new husband and his associates provided her with the means to murder Bridegan. Fernandez Saldana owned a rental property at 5239 Potomac Avenue in Billmore, neighborhood of Jacksonville, that sold in October of 2022. Fernandez Saldana's associates, Tenon and Redacted, knew one another, and Fernandez Saldana and Tenon Redacted, that's all redacted. Surveillance of Sanctuary Boulevard shows that vehicles freely passed through Sanctuary Boulevard before the murder, suggesting the tire in the roadway was a ruse to get Bridegan to stop. The tire belonged to a 2004 Ford 150 Lariat. Tenon drove a blue 2004 Ford 150 Lariat truck. His DNA had been identified on the tire recovered from the road on which Bridegan was murdered, and Tenon admitted to owning the tire when shown a picture of it. Investigators gathered surveillance video from the area of the murder, and it revealed the presence of a blue Ford 150 pickup truck. Tenon was shown surveillance pictures of the truck near the homicide scene and confirmed it was his truck. A surveillance picture of the truck before the homicide showed an item in the truck bed. When shown this photograph, Tenon confirmed a spare tire in the truck's bed. Additionally, the surveillance video revealed the truck traveling to and from the area of the murder after about an hour before the murder, suggesting the driver may have been practicing the route. Security camera footage showed the truck driving in front of Bridegan's car approximately 5 minutes before the murder and attempting to create space between the truck and Bridegan's car, presumably in an attempt to time the placement of the tires so to block Brightigan and not other drivers. Okay, let me get Sanctuary Boulevard. Hang on 1 second. Let's take a look at shoot, what did I do there? Okay, let's take a look. So Sanctuary Boulevard. Jacksonville Beach, Florida. So it should be, let me pull this over here. Remember we used to go on our little road trips, riding around on the Google Maps? All right, so let's take a look. Sanctuary Boulevard is here. Let's take a look at it and real time. So here's Sanctuary Boulevard, Alligators, Sanctuary Boulevard, Bonefish Grill. Sea Breeze. Sanctuary Boulevard. So just here it turns into Blue Heron Lane, and if you follow it all the way this way, Sanctuary goes into the South Beach Parkway. So let's see where on okay, so he was shot just before the road feeds into J. Turner Butler Boulevard. J. Turner Butler Boulevard is right here. Okay, he was shot right before it turned into J. Butler Boulevard, which is here. Well, where is Sanctuary? Sanctuary is here running alongside before it turns into it. Let's see, it's a dark stretch of road. Let's see. So here's a better still image. The road splits down the middle and is surrounded by tall trees on both sides. And they said now the road has bright spotlights, street lights, to make it safer. And there's this tire in the roadway. Okay, so let's go back to the documents. All right, so this surveillance of Sanctuary Boulevard showed the vehicles freely passed through, suggesting the tire in the roadway was a ruse to get Bride Again to stop. The tire belonged to the Lariat Tenon. Where were we? Okay, in the truck bed. When shown the photograph, Tenon confirmed a spare tire in the truck's bed. Additionally, the surveillance video revealed that the truck traveling to and from the area before the murder suggests the driver might have been practicing the route. Security camera footage showed the truck driving in front of Bride Again's car approximately 5 minutes before the murder and attempting to create space between the truck and Bride Again's car, presumably in an attempt to time the placement of the tire, so to block Bride Again and not other drivers. Cell telephone records connect the conspirators as well. Toll records show a significant increase in contact immediately before and after the murders compared to otherwise sporadic contact between them in the 6 weeks before the murder. Phone contacts between Fernandez Saldana and another individual showed a high number of contacts leading up to the murder and after the murder. The day before the murder, Fernandez Saldana called and sent texts, redacted, Tenon, redacted, on the night of the murder. There were periods during which the phones of Fernandez Saldana, Tenon, and a redacted person were not communicating with their corresponding networks. A noticeable location gap that began before 6 p.m. and indicates the phones being turned off or placed in airplane mode. One of Tenon's phones resumed connectivity about 40 minutes after the murder in the area of Beaches Baptist Hospital, which is approximately 1.4 miles from the murder scene. Now, we saw that in there, Beaches. The two phones attempted to contact each other during this time frame. Location data confirmed the phones were physically separated. Affiant believes this evidence indicates that Tenon was on foot in possession of one of his phones, seeking to connect back to the truck where his other phone was. In reviewing Tenon's cellular telephone location data, 2 dates in January of 2022, January 5th and January 29th, 2022, suggest that Tenon drove to Jacksonville Beach in a strikingly similar route as the one used by Bride Again used on the evening of the murder. About 45 days after the murder, Tenon deposited 3 checks written to him by Fernandez Saldana, that was, again, Shanna Gardner's husband. One of them for $2,000 deposited March 28th. The second was $3,000 deposited March 29th. And the third was for $5,000 deposited on April 4th. Tenon's account generally held less than $400 and was often overdrawn. These deposits were abnormal, highly abnormal, right? When compared to his financial history. The checks were written on an account held by First Choice Home Rentals, LLC. Gardner and Fernandez Saldana are listed as the owners. That's really right. First Choice Home Rentals receives incoming transfers from Shanna Gardner's trust account, which her parents fund. Oh, isn't that special? Well, do you know what that means? And that is what a lot of the Stamping Up demonstrators, or I don't know if they're called demonstrators, I don't know exactly, but our own Catty, Texas girl said a lot of people felt this way. Well, if this was funded by her trust fund, then these demonstrators that said the money that was made for the company that, the parents ultimately earned, and then that Shanna is actually benefiting from that money, but not only that, using a trust fund to pay these hitmen. Well, there it is. Okay, from Gardner's trust account, which her parents fund. That's very, very telling. That's the Stamping Up founder funding that trust fund where that money was used to hire hitmen to kill Jared Bridegan, the father of her grandchildren. First Choice Home Rentals receives incoming transfers from Gardner's trust account, which her parents fund, during a search warrant executed at Fernanda Saldana's Potomac Avenue address. Police recovered a safe belonging to Redacted, holding $2,000 cash, which was subsequently more money than Redacted typically had. Based on the investigation, one of Tennant's phones was recovered from the address during the warrant. An audio recording was recovered from that phone, which captured a conversation between Redacted and Tennant. And in the recording, Tennant was heard discussing a money transfer to Redacted and Tennant's brother. Tennant explained that he was waiting for $5,000 to clear from the bank, and he would pay Redacted with that money. The recording occurred 2 days after Tennant deposited the last $5,000 check he received from Fernanda Saldana. Finally, Redacted and Fernanda Saldana have known each other for many years. Fernanda Saldana dated Redacted's daughter in high school. Redacted is a former reserve police officer and a convicted felon. And then there's a whole paragraph that's redacted. In addition to Gardner's motive to murder Bridegan and the means to do so, Fernanda Saldana and his associates had the unique opportunity to murder him. Every other Wednesday night, Bridegan had dinner with his twins from his marriage with Gardner and brought his 2-year-old daughter so she could get to know her half-siblings. On the night of his murder, Bridegan dropped the twins off at his ex-wife's house in Jacksonville Beach after dinner and headed to his own house in Nocatee. Fernanda Saldana and Gardner knew Bridegan's dinner schedule with his daughters. They also knew that he would be coming to get his daughters and when he would be returning them. They're not daughters, I thought they were a boy and a girl. Let's see. They also knew the route that he would take to pick them up and the route he would take after returning them. Gardner Fernandez Saldana's Jacksonville Beach residence was the last place Bridegan was seen alive before he was murdered. Gardner and Fernanda Saldana both knew of Bridegan's particular driving pattern and routine at approximately the same time every Wednesday date night, as the routine was a habit between the two couples for the previous 8 months. By 2022, and at the time of Bridegan's murder, Gardner and Fernanda Saldana were planning to divorce, even advising such to the twins' school. In reviewing financial records, investigators discovered the majority of Gardner's income came through an irrevocable trust that Gardner's parents funded. Fernanda Saldana is the listed trustee. The trust language provides, when our daughter Shanna shall have no further legal entanglements with her ex-husband Jared G. Bridegan, she may elect to serve as trustee. Gardner and Fernanda Saldana have publicly, through legal counsel and the media, said they live together as a married couple, but surveillance has revealed that they are separated and living in different states. Fernanda Saldana is currently living in Orlando, Florida. Gardner has moved to the state of Washington. She is currently living in a home valued over $1 million that an LLC owned by her parents have purchased. Though she has not yet obtained a Washington state driver's license, she has enrolled the twins in school. Her Jacksonville Beach home is not currently on the market, nor has it been leased. It sits empty. On February 23, 2022, 1 week after Bridegan's murder and precisely 7 years after she filed for the dissolution of their marriage, a suggestion of death, Bridegan's death, appeared in the records of their dissolution case with St. Johns County Clerk of Court. By all accounts, in the months and years preceding the murder, Gardner wanted to leave the state of Florida with her children. However, her dissolution decree prevented her from leaving the state permanently with her children without an agreement from Bridegan or a court order. With Bridegan's death, she became free to leave the state with her children, which she has done, and with no legal entanglements with her ex-husband, she now also can control her trust funds. As of February 2nd, 2023, Tennant has been arrested and charged by information with conspiracy to commit murder, second-degree murder, tampering with evidence, and child abuse. Since the wire intercept has been in place, law enforcement has used several trigger or tickle actions which have evoked communications between and or among the suspects, in particular Gardner. At this time, Gardner is utilizing encryption and other methods to speak about the case and evade intercept. As will be discussed below, Affiant requests a spin-off order to intercept Gardner's anticipated communications regarding the investigation and murder of Bridegan on what has been identified as target telephone 7. Okay, let's see here. In the circuit court application, incorporating the telephones. Okay, incorporating herein by reference authorization for application target telephones 12456. Incorporating 12456. Okay, before me, Judge Meredith Charbula, Circuit Judge of the 4th Judicial Circuit in Duval County, Florida, appeared Christopher L. Johns with the Jacksonville Beach Police Department, who, being by me fully duly sworn, deposes and says, Detective Christopher L. Johns, affiant, is a police officer for the Jacksonville Police Department, hereinafter JBPD, and is currently assigned to the General Investigations Unit. Affiant has served as a police officer for 4 years. Affiant, along with other JBPD detectives, detectives with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, hereinafter JSO, and special agents with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, hereafter ATF, is investigating the murder of Jared G. Bridegan, hereafter Bridegan, that occurred on February 16, 2022. Affiant is an investigative law enforcement officer within the meaning of Florida statute, that is, an officer of the state of Florida or political subdivision thereof, or the United States, which is empowered by law to conduct investigations of and to make arrests for offenses enumerated in the Florida statute, blah, 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 and is authorized to make this application pursuant to that Florida statute. Affiant has received training in police standards for the state of Florida at the JSO Criminal Justice Training Center while employed with the JPPD. Affiant attended several investigations courses dedicated to homicide and death investigations and crime scene investigations. Affiant also attended 40-hour interviews and interrogations course dedicated to complex interrogations. Based on Affiant's training and experience, Affiant is familiar with homicide and complex investigations. During Affiant's investigations experience, Affiant has written and effected the execution of multiple search warrants. Okay, so this is, okay, let's go through. We don't need all of his credentials, right? As previously outlined in probable cause affidavit for the prior application on target telephones 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6, incorporated herein by reference, Affiant believes the murder of Bridegan on February 16, 2022 to be targeted hit. This court authorized intercepts on 4 individuals. likely involved in the commission of the target offenses. Investigation revealed the target suspects had a motive and opportunity to murder Bridegan. Confirmed relationships between and among the suspects, established relevant physical locations and communication patterns of them, and ultimately exposed evidence of the conspiracy as outlined in the probable cause affidavit. JBPD has arrested Henry Tenen for the target offenses and here seeks a wire intercept order allowing the capture of communications of and between the remaining target subjects. Investigation has revealed that Gardner, one of the target subjects, is planning to utilize target telephone 7 in order to circumvent, intercept when discussing the investigation and murder of Bridegan. Based on communication patterns of the 5 target subjects before the murder and since, as outlined in the probable cause affidavit of January 21st, 2023, incorporate herein and the subsequent communications of Gardner as outlined later in this application, law enforcement expects that Gardner will discuss information that will be relevant to her knowledge of and role in the murder of Bridegan, as well as her knowledge of and role of the other target subjects in the murder of Bridegan. If the objection of this wire intercept to discern the details of the role each played in the conspiracy, and law enforcement expects that the wire intercept will capture communications of evidentiary value to the subject, to the case. The facts and evidence supporting the investigation, conclusions, the probable cause supporting the wire intercept, the explanation of investigative exhaustion, and necessity for the intercept as the basis for the belief that the intercept will render relevant evidence, and all outlined in detail below. The applicant seeks to intercept communications for Shanna Lee Gardner, whom the applicant has probable cause to believe will utilize a certain cellular telephone facility. I wanted to make sure that... What happened? What's going on in here? My coffee is black. Where's everybody partying? Didn't they start? No, they did not start their own Zoom. No, it's not allowed in the cult. Stop it. Do you have music going on in the background? No. In the background of Zoom call, we're listening to the same thing. Sometimes when we're not on an adventure, I meant right now. No, they're not in a Zoom. No, I didn't get a cult message. It's not allowed. Okay, so, wow. So I don't know if you guys are interested in Shanna Gardner, but it's quite an interesting case, and it's going to be quite an interesting trial. I wish you'd get into it. A lot of times, guys in general get into a case when it has to be so saturated across everything. But this is a really very remarkable case. Where were we on the documents? Okay, so they got the target telephone 7, which is a Verizon wireless cellular telephone subscribed to Sage Hupiana. Hupiana is the sister of Gardner, a target subject of this homicide. She is also a friend and acquaintance of Fernandez Saldana. Wait a second. Okay, so are they... Okay, the next one is Shanna Lee Gardner's phone. Gardner had no known criminal history. Investigative objectives. The affiant requests this order to intercept communications, including electronic messaging, such as text messaging, instant messaging, or SMS messaging. Wire communications as defined. Stored wire communications, such as voicemail, which are provided by, to, from, or associated with the above described target phones, and communications facilities containing communications, discussions, or statements involving, concerning, or relating to the target offenses. Furthermore, based on the affiant's experience, it is known that the suspect and or subjects during and after the homicide have occurred utilize cell phones as the primary and exclusive means of exchanging communications, and that cell phones are used to transmit more than just verbal exchanges. These exchanges often included the transmission of videos, photographs, and other forms of electronic media, content relating to target offenses to the target subjects or their associates who have not yet been identified. As such, it is requested that the content be intercepted, as well as such information invaluable to confirming the full extent of the target subject's criminal activity, as well as identifying all unknown participants and their level of involvement, including but not limited to the following: the identity and role of participants in the murder of Bridegan on February 16th, the identity and role of participants involved in the solicitation or conspiracy to commit or as accessories after the fact to Bridegan's murder, and to evidence of tampering, aiding, abetting by individuals as participants as to assist participants in Bridegan's murder. Information regarding any physical evidence in this case, such as clothing, vehicles, firearms, ammunition, their origin, location, purchase or rental, or other persons with knowledge of these items. 1. Any information regarding money or assets, including transfers, transactions, payments, proceeds, or the location of these items or other persons with knowledge of these items. 2. Information about press releases, media coverage, or social media in reference to this homicide. C. Based on the collective experience of the investigative team on this case, it is not uncommon to hear background conversations while a telephone is off hook, engaged in use, or transmitting. Yeah, ask Donna Adelson what they heard, right? That relate to the above described criminal activity between criminal associates. Therefore, it is requested further that the authorization apply to oral communications such as these background conversations intercepted while monitoring a target phone and or in the vicinity of a target phone while said telephone is off hook, engaged in use, or transmitting. Affiant makes this application based on the attached probable cause affidavit, which is hereby incorporated by reference. Unless otherwise noted, the information set forth in this affidavit have been provided by affiant by detectives of the JBPD and other law enforcement officers. Unless otherwise noted, where in this affidavit, affiant asserts the statement was made from the information that was provided by another individual who may have either direct or secondhand knowledge of the statement to whom the affiant has spoken or whose report affiant has reviewed. All conclusions. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Let's just keep going here. State attorney subpoenas, search warrants. More than 17 search warrants had been obtained. Okay, infotainment systems, Ring cameras, Google locations. Let's see. Affiant has checked the identified target subjects and Hupiana by name with the Drug Enforcement, DEA, Federal Bureau of Investigation, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, Florida Department of Law Enforcement, and JSO to determine if any of the identified target subjects or the target phone numbers have ever been a subject or named as a target of any other court-authorized wire, electronic, or oral communication interception with any of the above agencies. Thus far, there is no indication that any of the target subjects or target phone numbers have been the subject of a previous court-authorized wire, electronic or oral communications interception aside from any previously authorized intercept related only to this investigation and outlined above. Additionally, as noted in the attached authorization verifying this, Office Official Melissa W. Nelson, State Attorney of the 4th Judicial Circuit, is not aware of any identified target subjects having been the subjects of any previous court authorized interceptions. Okay. Okay, I'm just... Child Protective Teams, Active Criminal Investigation. Okay, so that's interesting. So her sister... What's up with that? What's up with that? What's up with that? The two persons of interest who allegedly conspired to kill Brightigan have not been charged. Meanwhile, Gardner, Fernandez, Saldana were in court Friday morning for a pretrial hearing. Okay, so let's hear about what happened at their pretrial hearing. Okay, so Shanna Gardner, Mario Fernandez Saldana, and their attorney had a court hearing in the Duval County courtroom of Judge London Kite for pretrial issues regarding attorney-client issues and a possible change of venue Friday morning, February 16, 2024. Shanna and Mario Fernandez are co-defendants in the murder for hire of Jared Brightigan. Okay, so let's see what we got here. We got... Hold on, I'm trying to get his picture here so you can see. We can go with that. We're in the court now. Okay. Okay. Let's see. And here is Shanna. Shanna Gardner enters the courtroom for Friday's hearing. I'm very confused. Where's her Jose Baez? She's in there with another lawyer. What's that? Where's Jose Baez? She talks with defense attorney Patrick Carodi during Friday's courtroom hearing. Shannon, Mario Fernandez Saldana, and their attorneys had a court hearing. Okay, great. But what happened to Jose Baez? I'm very confused. Kristen Brightigan, the widow of Jared Brightigan, watches the suspects in her husband's murder. She sat in the courtroom gallery during Friday's hearing. Judge London Kite asked questions of the defense attorneys for Shanna and Mario during the hearing. Judge London Kite listened to the arguments of the defense attorneys for Shanna Gardner and Mario Fernandez. Shanna stand with her defense attorney Patrick Carodi during Friday's courtroom hearing. Assistant State Attorney Christopher Stifler makes arguments during procedural discussions in Judge London Kite's courtroom on Friday. Assistant State Attorney Christina Stifler makes arguments during that hearing. Let's see. What happened to Jose Baez? Hold on a minute. Okay, where's Jose Baez? What happened? She probably has to have two because of the death penalty case, but they didn't even mention him. Let me see. Why? What happened? I don't know. Jose Baez. What is up with that? What's up with that? What's up with that? Let me see. Okay, let's see. Bigger stuff. He dated his daughter in high school. Huh. Okay. Okay, so also in this thing, there is Fernandez Saldana's criminal history. So, jurisdiction, Federal Army, CID, date, January 9th, 2018. Isn't that right around the time she married him? Charge, forcible sodomy, SA. Disposition, Fernando Saldana was charged with forcible S and SA for forcing a recruit under his charge while in his position as a drill instructor in the U.S. Army. The charges were dropped and he was discharged less than honorable. What? Huh. Gardner's father told police Bridegan was set on making Shanna's life miserable even after the divorce and was preoccupied with money. The documents also said Gardner's father was willing to pay off Bridegan to get rid of him. Okay, let's see. Hold on. Hold on, there's been a lot of documents released. 1 second. Let's see what this is. Okay, let's look at this. Buccal swab. At 10:20, the April 1st, 2022, at 10:23 hours, I received an email from the Records Department in reference to a UPS package. The package was the subpoenaed documents from Farm Bureau with the canceled life insurance policy documents for Jared Brightigan. In reviewing the life insurance documents, I observed some of the pages to be missing. At 12:36 hours, I called Farm Bureau and spoke with legal assistant Gloria Statlander. She advised they normally do not send underwriting documents and medical forms, but she said she would check with the attorney to see if she could send them. She called me back at 13:34 hours and advised those forms would be sent to me overnight. At 10:05 hours, I received the other documents from the life insurance policy, and all of the documents were placed into property as evidence. There's no further information to add to the report. This cell phone, DVD of interview with Shannon Gardner, consent to search Shannon Gardner, consent to search Mario Fernandez. Okay. I was contacted April 15, 2022 by Mario E. Fernandez Saldana, who stated he wanted to speak to detectives, and I asked him to come by the police station. Interview with Mario. At approximately 1500 hours, the interview with Fernandez was conducted in the soft room with the audio and visual recorded. Also present was Detective Jay Lamont. Fernandez stated that Fernandez and Gardner have been experiencing a backlash from Kristen Brightigan, putting it out into the media. He stated that they were trying to maintain an amicable relationship for the sake of the kids, but that would not continue. He stated the kids are being affected by the constant media. Fernandez stated that what Kirsten is stating is starting to affect the business of Shanna's parents, as well as their bakery business. That's right, she had a bakery business, remember? He further stated that people are starting to accuse Shanna of being involved. Look, and it's happening to her parents' business. Fernandez stated the problem is I am running out of F's to give, and I am very petty. Fernandez stated he was going on Facebook Live and let her, Kay Brightigan, have it. Oh, wow, look at this. Fernandez, this is good stuff. This is good stuff. I don't think we've seen this stuff before. So Fernandez is going on Facebook Live. He's going to go on Facebook Live. I'm going to let the widow of the murdered man have it, right? He's a big tough guy because I want to shut up. I want her to shut up. Oh, big tough guy. Should we look at another picture of this big tough guy? Crazy. He's going to shut her up. He also stated that they were going to seek legal counsel. He was asked if we, the police, were instructing her to do this. Fernandez stated that Kirsten was painting, I think he means painting, a pretty picture. He also stated someone posted that Shanna and Jared were divorced because Shanna cheated. He stated that was not true. He stated people are starting to comment that he and Shanna were somehow involved. You were, allegedly. He reiterated it is starting to affect their business. He stated Shanna has kept him on a leash and he is over it. He stated that he, Jared, had a say over the kids, but that is over, and now they only have to deal with her, Kirsten. He further stated there is too much information on the internet and that is not good for the kids. He stated Shanna couldn't parent because Jared was present. Now they have a new normal, but Kirsten is making it really difficult. Fernandez was advised that he is welcome to say whatever he would like, but we would hope they do not lie or slander each other. Okay, please, Rick, go ahead, you're right. Please don't lie or slander. He stated that was already happening since Kirsten was telling people that Fernandez and Gardner did it, and Shanna's parents paid for it since they are rich. Fernandez was asked who is attacking their business, and he stated it was just random local people commenting online. Fernandez was asked if they were getting divorced, which he confirmed. He stated they only got married so he could help with the kids while they were dating. He stated they're starting going to counseling about a year ago. However, the chemistry is divided and they have different styles on how to raise the kids. He stated it was also very difficult with the kids going back and forth between the houses. He stated they were hoping he, Jared, would push the issue with the therapist, and we are going to shite on him in court so Shanna could gain more time with the kids. He was asked if Shanna gained more control of the kids, would that be better for their marriage? He replied, not necessarily, but Jared would have lost his mind. He stated he would have paid to see this, especially if it has supervised visits. He stated they planned on doing family therapy to make the transition better for the kids. He stated they got along and they love each other, but their different parenting styles are the issue. Fernandez was asked how the kids were handling everything. He stated they are thriving and it makes it easier that they are not moving between houses. He stated they are mourning, but they are not grieving. He stated the kids are doing better, but the news stories upsets them. He stated they are mourning, but they are not grieving. What? During the interview, Fernandez asked if he would be willing to provide a DNA sample. He agreed and completed a consent form. The swab was collected and placed into evidence. Afterwards, it was asked if Shanna Gardner was asked if she also wanted to come in and speak with us. She arrived at police headquarters a short time later. At approximately 1500 hours, the interview with Gardner was conducted in the soft room and was audio and visually recorded. Also present was Detective Jay Lamont. Mrs. Gardner stated that she came in to give us a DNA sample. She expressed concern over their safety due to all the media attention. She stated she wanted to talk to police before they did any type of media because she did not want to hinder the investigation. She stated she wants privacy and protection for her kids. She stated she wants to help in any way she can, but feel like a lot of the attention is being directed towards her. She was asked, how are the kids doing? She stated, hang on a second here. Hold on. I need to get, okay, I need to get my fruit. Okay, so where was I? She expressed concern of the safety. She stated she wanted to talk to the police. She stated she wants privacy and protection for her kids. She stated she wants to help in any way she can, but feels like a lot of the attention is being directed towards her. She was asked, how are the kids doing? She stated, a Brightigan is missing her siblings, but Kirsten is making that difficult. Gardner stated she was trying to set up boundaries for the kids to talk. She stated they needed to leave the past in the past. However, she feels as Kirsten has been attacking her on social media. She further stated her mother's blog has also received negative comments. That's so Shelley or something. She stated she has attempted to allow the kids to watch some of the interviews as long as they are appropriate. She further stated the kids are in a good place. Gardner was asked about her divorce to Mario. She stated they came to terms with their divorce when they were in Hawaii. They decided to wait until summer to allow the kids to finish out the school year without any other interruptions. She stated they have a timeline in place to ease the transition with the kids. She stated for now, he, Mario, will remain in the house probably until July. Gardner was asked if all of the turmoil with Jared led up to their divorce. She stated she did not think so because Mario and her, Gardner, have always been very different. She stated they attempted to make things work because they saw potential in each other, but are in different places and they have two different parenting styles. Gardner was asked about why her and Fernandez, got married so quickly. She stated that her and Fernandez were working at the same gym. And he offered to help with her kids while she was working. However, she knew Jared, wouldn't allow that. However, they started dating and ended up getting married so he could help with the kids. She stated this was suggested by her mother. Her mother, another Donna Adelson. Wow, I wonder if her mother could be involved in this. So wouldn't that be something? This case already has similarities to the Adelson. And now the mother may be involved? I don't know. Allegedly. She stated that this was suggested by her mother while they were on a trip to Utah. She stated it was a mutual decision for them to get divorced. She stated it was a very rational decision and not out of hate. Oh, listen to this one. She was asked what her parents thought of the divorce. She stated that her parents love Mario, but they are understanding. She stated her mom, Shelley Gardner, was ashamed of how she reacted during their first divorce, which was just to make it work with Jared. Gardner stated that Jared emptied accounts while they were still trying to work it out. She stated their divorce got dirty, and he started to drag her parents into it. She stated at that point her parents told her to do whatever she needed to do to get her divorce finalized. She stated Jared ended up getting a lot of money from her family. She stated Jared signed a prenup agreement, but it didn't matter with Mario, though, because she did not have a trust anymore. Gardner was asked if there was any animosity between Jared and her parents over the money he received. She stated they hated it. They hated the idea that Jared felt entitled to their money. She stated she got Jared accustomed to a certain lifestyle that he was not going to be able to continue, and he was not going to get any more money. He was fighting for part of her inheritance. She stated this changed how the prenup agreement between her and Fernandez and for her sister were written. She further stated that Mario was not worried about finances, that he has given everything to her, Gardner. She was asked how her relationship was with her parents. She stated it is better now, but it will likely never be where it was. She stated her parents told her she did not need to worry about finances, and if she was staying with Mario for financial reasons, they will help her. She stated her parents did not like Jared because he hurt her. However, they would not want this to happen to Jared. even stating they would help support Kirsten. She was asked what she thought would happen to Jared. She stated she did not know. She did not think it could be drugs or anything. She stated she can't help but think maybe Kirsten had something to do with it, but she does not think about it all day. During the interview, Gardner also voluntarily gave buccal swabs. She signed a consent, and I took the samples and placed them in property. On Monday, April 18th, 2022, Kirsten Bradigan came to the police department so I could obtain buccal swabs from her left and right cheek areas. Also, she brought the victim's Fitbit to the police department. I placed all of those items into property. No further at this time. On Monday, April 18th, 2022, I received the Google GeoFence subscriber information for the device ID for the Pablo Hamlet search warrant. The following subscriber information was provided by Google. Device ID, subscriber Mondi Mashak, another one for Michael Bess, another one for Michael Bess, another one for Jamie Jackson, another one. I scanned the Google GeoFence subscriber information. I provided the information on Tuesday, April 19th, 2022. I went to the Duval County Courthouse to obtain a signature from a judge for the Google GeoFence return. I met with Judge James Kaluther, who signed the return search warrant. I provided the original copy of the search warrant and returned to the state attorney office. I scanned the completed search warrant into this report. No further at this time. During this investigation, it was discovered from Biggerstaff's phone records that on February 17th, 2022, at approximately 13:52, Biggerstaff had driven to Naval Station Mayport. Specifically, Biggerstaff went to Outdoor Adventures on Naval Station on April 21st, 2022, at approximately 1200 hours. Commander Crumley and I drove to Outdoor Adventures and spoke with the on-duty manager, Wendy Sawyer. Miss Sawyer researched the date and time Biggerstaff came to Outdoor Adventures and located a sales receipt. The receipt showed Biggerstaff rented 40 chairs, 5 tables, 1 canopy, 4 canopy sides, and 1 cooler. The receipt was scanned to this report. On Thursday, April 21st, 2022, I removed the following buccal swabs from the property department so I could provide them to the ATF Special Agent Mark Mutz. Special Agent Mutz will provide these buccal swabs to the ATF lab for comparison. The buccal swabs were from Shanna Gardner, Mario Saldana, and Kirsten Bradigan. Monday, May 2nd, 2022, at approximately 900 hours, subpoenas were submitted for the following individuals: Mario Fernandez Saldano, Shanna, this is Shanna Gardner, Kirsten Bradigan, Jared Bradigan, John Biggerstaff. At approximately, this is March 17th, 2022, approximately 1700 hours, Megan Elise Travestino arrived at the Jacksonville Beach Police Department to conduct a recorded interview. Travestino advised that she had personal knowledge of Shanna Gardner and Mario Saldano from the Black Hive CrossFit Gym. Wow, this is very interesting. We are going to be probably involved in this stuff, I don't know for how long. There's a lot of this, way more than this. This is 87 pages, but it'll probably be a few days at least. At approximately 18:30 hours, the interview with Travestino was conducted in interview room 89 and was audio visually recorded. Also present during the interview was Detective C. Johns, 1236. Travestino began the interview stating the nature of her relationship and knowledge of Shanna Gardner and Mario Saldano. Travestino advised that she first met Saldano through a mutual friend in 2015. At this time, Gardner and Saldano were not currently dating. Travestino advised she would see Saldana and Gardner at Black Hive CrossFit, but she never interacted with either at the gym. Travestino stated she recently saw Gardner at a mutual friend's wedding in Jacksonville Beach. The wedding took place on 1/1/2022. Travestino advised Gardner was accompanied by her children and Saldana was not present. Travestino felt it was strange Saldana was not with Gardner at this wedding. Travestino would go to explain Saldano's personality. Travestino stated that Saldana was hyper and had an intense presence. Travestino stated Saldana would never be with anyone she would invite to her house. Would never be anyone she would invite to her house. Travestino would go on to explain an incident involving Gardner and Saldano at a Christmas party for the gym. Travestino explained Saldano and Gardner drove her friend Chelsea back to their house. Chelsea was intoxicated at the time, and Chelsea's brother was unable to reach her by cell phone. Once Chelsea's brother found where she was located, he drove to Gardner's house. Once Chelsea's brother arrived, Chelsea was currently at Gardner's house and she was naked when her brother arrived. Saldano informed Chelsea there was a video of her naked and he was not going to give it to her. Travestino advised Chelsea would conduct an interview to speak in further detail about this incident. End of interview. Wow. He is really something. Why was Chelsea naked? What was the tour? What the? On 5/9/2022 at 1300 hours, I released item 101, an Apple Watch and ring, to Kirsten Bridegan for Sergeant Young. No further information at this time. Thursday, April 7th, 2022 at approximately 10:15 hours, Peter Orbitsberger from the Discovery School arrived at Jacksonville Beach Police Department. The interview with Orbitsberger was conducted to get background information on the relationship between the victim and Shanna Gardner in relation to the kids and their school. At approximately 10:17, the interview was conducted with Orbitsberger in interview room 89. Audio and visual were recorded. Also present during the interview was Detective S. Courier, 1252. Orbitsberger began the interview speaking about the memorial held by Shanna Gardner for the victim. Orbitsberger stated that she thought it was strange. She did not notice Mario Saldana present. Orbitsberger would go on to advise she was told Gardner and Saldana were currently going through a divorce. Gardner informed Orbitsberger that she was currently getting a divorce, and Saldana would be moving out of the house in June after the school year was over. Orbitsberger would go on to explain that the Discovery School is a close-knit school, and they try and provide support for the children. The support comes in the form of counseling and further engagement with the children as needed. Orbitsberger advised the school was originally informed about the divorce in early January. Orbitsberger explained her involvement with Gardner and Saldana since the children had been attending school. Orbitsberger advised she has not seen the two together very often, but she has seen nothing out of the ordinary. Orbitsberger advised that she has never seen any issues between Gardner and the victim at the school. Gardner was typically the only person present at the school during events. Orbitsberger would go on to explain the video surveillance system was not currently working during the incident. Orbitsberger stated she would check on the security cameras to see if it was possible to locate the video. End of interview. Wednesday, April 27th at approximately 1300 hours, Lauren Lee John arrived at Jacksonville Beach Police Department to conduct an interview. John conducted the interview to give background information on the relationship between Shanna Gardner and the victim in relation to the children. At approximately 1300 hours, the interview with John was conducted in interview room 89. John began the interview explaining her role with the children and advised she has known the children for about 4 years. John advised Gardner currently has the children in therapy through a private therapist. John advised the children are in therapy more than the typical student at the Discovery School. John advised the children have spoken very little about the night the victim was killed. The children spoke of date night and advised it was a pleasant date night. John began to explain the nature of the relationship between Gardner and the victim as it pertained to parenting the children. John advised the children were instructed to keep journals to record incidents at the victim's house for the therapist. John advised the victim tended to stricter with the children when they were at his house. John would go to explain both families wanted to have full custody of the children. John stated the victim wanted the children to attend to school in St. Johns County versus the Discovery School. John advised both parents would vent about the parenting style of the other parent. John advised the media attention has caused a lot of stress on Gardner and the children. Gardner was explained as an oversharer, and she does not believe Gardner had anything to do with the victim's murder. John would go on to describe Saldana as reserved and less involved in parent-teacher meetings. John described the victim as quiet but condescending during these same meetings. John began to explain her knowledge of the divorce of Gardner and Saldana. John stated Gardner and Saldana had been in couples therapy, but the two were moving forward with the divorce. John advised Gardner was concerned with how the divorce may affect the custody of the children and how that would affect the kids moving forward. End of interview. Okay, let's see. This is Friday, May 6th, 2022. At approximately 10:30 hours, Kim Jensen arrived at police headquarters to be interviewed in reference to this case. She is best friends with Shanna Gardner. Jensen stated she has known Jared and his family for about 20 years. They went to the same church. She stated that she was never really friends with them, but only knew them from a distance. She stated Jared was a quiet kid and seemed to only date girls that were loaded with money. She stated he was jerks to the girls he dated. She then met Shanna and they became friends. Jensen stated they became really good friends. And she was the only one who stuck by Shanna during her and Jared's divorce. She then spoke about Jared's other siblings, stating their names and who they were married to. However, she did not really know them. She was asked about Shanna and Jared's marriage. She stated any time she would come over to the house, Jared would be in the bedroom and would not come out unless it was time to eat, and he would never have anything to do with the kids. She stated that Jared was just a jerk. She claims anytime Shanna wanted child support for the kids, he would quit his job. She stated that after their divorce, he would never talk to her and would only do everything via text or email. She stated Shanna was a great mother and did everything she could for her kids, where Jared was just concerned with the money. She stated Shanna's parents had stopped helping her and she was working 3 jobs to support herself. She stated Shanna left the church because she wanted to disassociate herself with anything to do with Jared. She stated Jared's attempted to start an app where he used $150,000 from Shanna's trust. And Shanna's parents gave Jared another $150,000, but the app was never successful. She was asked if either Shanna or Jared were trying to gain more custody of the kids. She stated she thought either of them would have been happy with more custody, but they were following the parenting plan. She stated Jared was always trying to control Shanna, even after they were divorced, and she stated that Jared was a narcissist. Oh boy. Jensen was asked what she thought about Mario Fernandez. She stated her first thought was Shanna, did not need to be with anyone. She said she did not know Mario, but implied that at least Jared appeared to be a nice guy, where Mario did not, and was very direct. Mario was also small, and she said, you never marry a dude shorter than you. She said she felt like Mario did not have any motive and that they would grow into a relationship. And they thought they would grow into a relationship. Jensen was asked if she thought it was weird that Mario and Shanna got married so quickly, and she said she thought it was weird, but she understood why. She stated she knew Jared would not let Mario be around the kids, and she wanted to appear to be in a stable relationship. She was asked if she got to know Mario after a while. She stated they were friendly but never close. She stated he would always question why she went to church or believed in God. She stated Mario has good intentions but poor execution. Jensen stated the kids developed skills on how to cope with dealing with two different households and how to modify what they did and said based on what parents' house they were at. She said Shanna was always supportive of the kids and would never talk bad about Jared, but Jared wanted the kids to hate Shanna as much as he did. She said Mario wanted the kids to stand up for themselves. She said Mario is not the marrying kind. She said she did not think Mario was, I think she means ever in love with Shanna. She said she felt Mario was not good for Shanna, and he had a Napoleon syndrome. She said she felt like Mario was everything that Jared was not. She was asked if Mario had anyone else living at the house. She said Mario had always had a lot of friends, and some would stay there from time to time, but it did not last very long. She said Mario is married, but he still lives like a single guy. She was asked if anyone he hung out with was odd. She stated no. He doesn't really hang out with anybody. She said other than going to appointments, he's a homebody. She was asked if Mario's brother was staying there. She stated that his brother was there, but Mario kicked him out after he would not make the kids say his name correctly. What? Jensen was asked what she thought about Jared's murder. She stated that Shanna called her the next day and told her that Jared had been shot. She stated that Jared was always about money and he was a Freemason. Oh my gosh. Now we're going to get into the Freemason stuff again. She thinks it was a money thing or it had to do with the Freemasons. Oh, cut it out. She said that she thought maybe it had something to do with Kirsten. She said she thinks that Jared wanted everyone to think he hated Shanna, but she thinks Jared was obsessed with Shanna. She thinks Kirsten is setting up Shanna for a wrongful death lawsuit. Yeah, right. Jensen was asked what she thought about the comments on the articles that were saying Shanna and Mario had something to do with the murder. And she said, I don't see it. I spend a lot of time. I've been on Shanna's side for 8.5 years. Mario, he hated him. Mario has a cushy life. He would not sacrifice that for this killing Jared. She was asked, just for thought, would Sharon stand with Mario if he did do this? She said no. He would have been gone just for putting the kids at risk. She was asked if Shanna spoke to her after she spoke to us. She stated she did call and just talked about meeting us and coming in and giving DNA, but nothing really out of the ordinary. Monday, May 10th, 2022. Kirsten Bright again stated she found 2 external hard drives an Apple MacBook Pro laptop, and an Apple desktop that she believed belonged to Jared prior to them meeting. The items were placed into property as evidence and will be sent to the sheriff's office for analysis. Wednesday, May 11th, 2022. Justin Bridegan that was Justin that had the subpoena before, not Jared. I don't know if they had it written wrong or what, or I just read it as that. Justin E. Bridegan was asked to come to the police station where he was asked to supply a DNA sample via a buccal swab. He signed a consent to search and voluntarily provided a sample of his saliva. The samples were taken by myself and placed into property as evidence. Shelley and Sterling Gardner came by the police station and agreed to talk to detectives. At approximately 1100 hours, the interview with Shelley Gardner was conducted in the soft room. This is the founder of Stamping Up. Okay, we began by talking about their trip from Utah and the recent purchase of their home here in Jacksonville Beach, Florida. She was asked to tell us about Jared. Shelley stated she was here on business and met him while they were dating. She stated she wondered why they were dating because they were so different. She stated he was super shy. However, she just assumed it was because opposites attract. She stated she put her concerns aside and encouraged them to love and support each other. She stated Shanna is a very free spirit and Jared's was also very reserved and somewhat rigid. Jared wanted Shanna to act and dress in a certain way. She was then asked, how was their marriage? She stated Shanna made excuses for a long time and she did not realize how bad things were between them. She stated that Jared was always in his room, especially when the twins were born. He did not help with the kids unless he had to. She stated Jared had some odd likes and dislikes, such as he did not like mirrors in the house anywhere, and they were not allowed to have pictures in the house with people's faces. She did not think Jared was at all physically abusive, but would raise his voice at Shanna. She stated they were all at an event in Orlando and were planning on going to the parks for a day or two. However, Liam got sick, so they all came back to Jacksonville. This was around the time that Shanna had announced her intentions to get divorced. She stated it was just Jared, Shanna, Sterling, and her in the room. Jared got angry and commented to Shanna, "You need to be punished. You get to be married to me." It seemed almost as if Jared forgot her parents were there. She stated Sterling, Shanna's father, stood up and said something to Jared, which ended the encounter. She stated it was rare Jared would be around. They typically came around for Sunday dinners, and he would leave the moment they were done eating. She stated they really did not know him that well because he was very reclusive and would always leave when he got the opportunity. She stated that as a family, they would try to get him to open up, but he never would. She stated they all thought things would get better after the divorce, but it got worse. She asked if Jared did not want the divorce. She stated she didn't know, but she also did know why he would want to stay married because it was not much of a marriage. Shelley felt that Jared was the Old Testament type where women were required to be subservient and were treated as property. She stated after their divorce, Jared refused to talk to Shanna and would only communicate via text or email, and he would never allow any of the people he dated to meet Shanna. Jared told people they all knew that Shanna cheated on him, and that is why they were getting a divorce. However, she stated people came up to her late and stated they get it now, and that Jared may not have been the person he pretended to be. Shelley stated there are several comments out there that are misleading and hateful. She stated she now has to moderate where comments go on her blog. She stated people only know the partial truth and not the other side. She was asked if there was any contention between them and money Jared got from the house or from his app. She stated that there was no contention between them, but she felt that Jared used to a lifestyle that was taken from him. She stated they loaned him money but did not expect to get it back, and that they were okay with that. She said she did not feel the money was worth hard feelings. She stated she tried to get Shanna to let it go, and that they would be willing to help her out financially. She stated there was no animosity, even though he got hundreds of thousands of dollars from them. She stated that they may have been some animosity on Shanna's part, but they told her to just let it go. However, Jared did attempt to take them to court to get more money because he wanted to continue the lifestyle he became accustomed to. She was asked what she thought about Mario. She stated that they thought it was weird at first, but they got to know him and they like him a whole lot better than Jared. She stated they were good for each other because Mario brought in some structure. She stated he might have been a little strict, but he was good for the kids and Shanna. She stated she does know that they are getting divorced, but they will always like Mario. She stated that they have never really had a typical marriage, but they are really good friends. She stated Shanna thinks they are going to remain really good friends, but she thinks they will both move on. She stated that Shanna is just very trusting and good-hearted. However, she thinks Mario is ready to move on and does not want the commitment. She stated Mario is a private person and does not want anyone to know his business, but he is good. She stated that this will be another loss. She then mentioned that they were unsure what direction to move in due to Jared's death. She stated Mario is Johnny on the spot, with helping around the house or with the kids. She stated it was obvious they love each other, just not the usual way, more like a friend. She was asked if she knew which one wanted the divorce, but she did not know. She stated she knew Mario initially pursued Shanna. She said their marriage was always more of an arrangement versus falling in love. It was more they are great friends and they can live under the same roof and help with the kids. She was asked if she ever told Shanna to get married, to which she stated, no. You can't ever tell Shanna what to do. I would never say do this because she would do the opposite. She said she had a feeling as a mother they would get married. She was asked if Shanna nitpicked during the divorce. She said she did it with her as a daughter, but she was not sure if she did it with Jared. While they were all still in Connecticut, she stated she would often try to get Shanna to see a different perspective because she always felt divorce was the last option. However, looking back, she felt that was likely bad advice. Shelley stated they had very little communication with Jared after their divorce, except for the occasional text from him telling her to get Shanna under control. She was asked if Shanna wanted full custody of the kids. She stated sure, but she never fought for it. She only tried to get child support since he was living in Utah and she was raising the kids on a day-to-day basis. She said, if anything, it was concerning because the kids would often come back dirty and underfed. She stated they thought about it. Hold on a minute. She stated if they thought about it, they should have offered Jared money in exchange for full custody of the kids. Wow, she really sounds like Donna Adelson. She said Jared was always just about the money. She felt that if they offered him money, he would have given up custody of the kids. Jared was also vindictive, and money was super important to him. She was asked if they had any prenuptial agreement. She stated both Jared and Mario have one, but she did not know about the particulars. Gardner was asked if she knew anyone who would want to do this. She stated, no, I don't. I don't like him, but I wouldn't want this for him. She stated he didn't have a lot of friends, but she did not know him to have any enemies. She said the media is ripping on Shanna, stating that she must have done it and they must have paid for it since they have money. She further stated that a comment on one of the forums she was reading suggested maybe he treated his first family poorly, but he realized he did not know why this would happen. But he realized, hold on a minute, he needed to change. But the person the media is portraying is not the Jared they knew. But they did not know why this would happen. But she had theories, as everyone does. She stated it was weird that Jared had money to pay off his house because Jared never had any money, implying that maybe he was into something sinister since he had the money to pay off the house. She mentioned that there were a few times in school where he passed off work as his own, but it was not his work. Shelley was asked if she was ever bothered by Mario's criminal past. She stated she was not, and that she has always been trusting and forgiving. Maybe she does not know as much about it as she thought. Okay, this is an interview with Sterling, Shanna's father. So, let's see here. Uh-oh. What's going with my copy's black? Why are you retracting everything? If your voice got really deep as a result of so many years, and you knew it would be bad, did that stop you from developing the habit that you know ahead of time? What? What are you talking about? Why are you just asking about that? Are you saying my voice sounds like I've never smoked in my life? I don't know. I've never smoked in my life. There, my coffee's black. At approximately 12:20 hours, the interview with Sterling Gardner was conducted in the soft room and was audio and visual recorded. Also present was Detective Jay Lamont. Sterling was asked about when Shanna and Jared first met. He stated that Shanna did not like Jared when she first met him. He called her a dog, which he stated he later learned that was supposed to mean you were good looking. He called her a dog. Okay. Then they were getting married. He stated they came out to Utah, but he never really got to know Jared because every time he tried to ask him questions, Shanna would always answer. He stated they have a trust fund set up for each of their son-in-laws so they can focus on getting an education and not have to worry about living expenses or education costs. He stated Jared was found to be outsourcing his homework during school. He stated Jared was often isolated and he would often sneak out of family dinners. Sterling stated that he would go to do projects at their house and Jared would never come out, but would just stay in his office the whole time. He stated during dinner he noticed Jared wearing a ring. He asked him about it and he was told it was a Freemason ring. He stated Jared spoke for over 20 minutes about it when typically you can't get Jared to speak at all. He stated Jared was very motivated but preoccupied with money. Sterling stated he would go over and shovel the snow from their driveway and porch and Jared would never come out and help. He stated that they were together just after Shanna realized they were getting a divorce. He stated Shelley was trying to talk them into trying to work it out when Jared stated, "You need to be punished. You get to be married to me." Sterling said he addressed Jared, who immediately backed off, and that ended the evening. Sterling stated he made arrangements to buy out Jared's half of the house. He stated Jared remained pretty belligerent. He felt Jared was set on making Shanna's life miserable even after the divorce. However, he stated they were both pretty fiery at times after the divorce. Sterling stated they had made arrangements to go visit Kirsten and take her a care package. However, While they were on the way, Kirsten asked Jared $400,000 for his half of the house. He stated Jared attempted to sue them. He felt majority custody. He stated, not that he was aware of, but everything had to be very specific as in their custody agreements. Sterling stated that during mediation, the mediator came out and offered Shanna full custody in exchange for payment. He was asked if he maintained life insurance on Jared. He stated he has insurance policies on all of his son-in-laws for $100,000. It lapsed about a year ago. He still maintains policies on the others. Sterling was asked what Jared was like on family vacations. He stated very isolated. He stated that they went to Cabo one time, and Jared stayed in the hotel room the whole time. He was asked what he thought about Mario. He stated that he's an interesting guy. He's more talk than anything else. He was asked what he meant by that. He just said he has an answer for everything, and is that military type, However, he has been good for her and the kids. He asked if he has ever seen any issues between Mario and Shanna. He said they both have strong personalities, and he was raised one way, very strict, and Shanna was raised our way. However, Shanna always had the last word on how to raise the kids. He was asked if there was any contention with the people Mario had staying at the house, and he said there was not an issue. It was just people Mario was helping out. End. Okay. Brent P. Parrish. Okay. I checked out an Apple desktop, Apple MacBook Pro, and 2 external drives. Their items were delivered to JSO's Digital Forensic Unit for processing. Brent Parrish, the owner of Black Hive Gym, was previously interviewed on March 18th, 2022. He provided some minimal background about some of his employees and clients at his gym. At approximately 13:23 hours, the interview with Parrish was conducted in the soft room with the audio and visually recorded. Also present during the interview, Detective S. Courier. Parrish was asked how he met Mario Fernandez. He stated he met him through another worker. Hector said he hired him to maintenance around the gym. Parrish was asked if he had a male by the name of Josh Neves that worked for him. He stated it didn't ring a bell. He stated he owns a roofing company and he can't remember all of his employees. He stated Shanna and Mario met when they were both working at the gym. He stated he worked together with Mario regularly while they were building out new gyms. He said he met Shanna and that they stopped coming around the gym, and said Mario was hardworking. He worked for him, and he would also work for a security company in Miami. He stated that it was a private security company who escorted people and fly into Miami. Uh-oh. What happened? What happened? Are we not live anymore? Oh no. Are we live? What's going on? It said we are live. Oh my gosh. If I was reading all that and we weren't live, I was going to have a conniption giant fit. Oh my gosh. What is going on? It said it disconnected. Okay, I don't understand what this is like. It was buffering, but now, oh boy, this is like some good shite. I don't understand how you guys are not interested in this shite right now. This is like all background stuff of this case. Hold on a minute. I think we're going to have to get some new people, Kevin. We're going to have to advertise for people in the Shanna Gardner case. Because there should be like some oohs and ahs and something or other going on. There's a lot of stuff in there that we've been wondering about. I think it's crazy. I don't know how you guys are not like freaking out. Hold on, I've got to get some green beans or something. I've got to have something. I just can't believe you guys are not into that. I don't understand. Gotta get to the store. My pantry is getting to look like old Mother Hubbard's. I made pasta bazool today. That was good. And what else do I have to get something else. I need more tomatoes. Alright, hang on. Gotta eat something. I'm so hungry right now. I don't know what is food. I'm a little anemic, so this is better. I have to eat something. She has to eat something. It's not like you guys are like waiting. I'm gonna have to recruit for where the heck is my olive oil? Oh, there's something there. You guys realize that was the parents, the founder of the Stamping Up company that was saying all that stuff? Sounds a little bit Adelson. Oh, shoot. What is up with this? Hold on, I'm gonna get my balsa mixed up. I feel like I'm a kid when you're on the phone, when you're a teenager in 8th grade and you're roller skating around your house getting something. Those of you that are watching on the replay, I'm sorry, and you're really interested in this stuff, I will get right back on it. Okay. Hi, Carolyn Jepson. Oh, you're listening, Kevin? There should be some oohs and ahs. Why is coffee black sting? I sound like a man. That's not nice. And I've never smoked coffee's black at all. That's better, Kevin. Okay. So this is an interview with Brent Parrish, the owner of the gym, right? Okay. He stated he met him through another worker, Hector, and he hired him to maintenance around the gym. Parrish was asked if he had a male by the name of Josh Neves that worked for him. He stated it didn't ring a bell. He stated he owns a roofing company and he can't remember all of his employees. He stated that Shanna and Mario met when they were both working at the gym. He stated he worked together with Mario regularly when they were building out new gyms. He said he met Shanna and that they stopped coming around the gym. He said Mario was hardworking. He worked for him, and he would also work for a security company in Miami. He stated it was a private security company who escorted people who fly into Miami. Escorted people who fly into Miami? Parrish called his bookkeeper. He asked her if a Josh Neves ever worked for them. She stated it was Josh Nunez. Hold on a minute. Josh Nunez. How did they get Josh Neves? Josh Nunez. Okay. A security number, and his last address and phone number was 12796 Glade Springs Drive. Okay. He was asked if he would provide contact information for Hector. He stated Hector did not really hang out with Mario. He said he did not realize at first the connection between Mario, Shanna, and the victim until he was working out with a friend, Jacob, at the gym. And he said, so do you think Mario did it? He said it then clicked for him. He was asked, did Mario ever say how he afforded his Porsche? He said Mario was getting disability from the military. I was trying to get 100% disability. He stated he had to be a little careful, even working for him. He also had the side security job in Miami. He stated he was also trying to get Shanna to be his caretaker so she could get money from the military as well. He was asked if he ever got the impression their marriage was a business relationship or legit. He stated he thought it was legitimate. He said he has not talked to Mario since August of 2001 via text. On May 16, 2022, at the request of Detective Sergeant Young and Detective Johns, I photographed the listed vehicle for insurance purposes. I photographed the exterior and the interior of the vehicle. The photos were burned onto a disc, and a copy has been placed in the Jacksonville Beach Police Department property room. And it was a vehicle, what was it? Volkswagen. Okay. Thursday, May 12th, 2022. Subpoena for John Biggerstaff's financial records were served to Capital One, Regions Bank, ViStar Credit Union, and the Navy FCU. Capital One responded and stated they were not able to locate an account for the subject. Thursday, May 19, 2022. A review of the search history and Chrome activity provided via the Google Inc. search warrant revealed Biggerstaff searched for 10mm Glock pistol and 9mm S&W pistol on January 26, 2022 at 1:15 hours. He then visited guns.com and viewed details about a Glock 20 Gen 4 10mm pistol Screenshots of the search history have been attached to this report. A subpoena was served to guns.com to see if there was any purchase history from Biggerstaff. Further searches of the media files appear to show Mario Fernandez Saldana engaging in sexual activity with Maria Biggerstaff at the Biggerstaff's residence. Uh-oh. Maria Biggerstaff. Media files. A request was made to Court Programs of North Florida, LLC, to provide GPS information from Michael Swapsy's court-ordered ankle monitor. The date will be attached to this report. June 13th, 2022, a return for John Biggerstaff's Regions Bank was received and will be attached to this report. We are still waiting on returns from USAA and ViStar. Okay, so now we've learned a lot, haven't we? We've learned that Mario is with someone named Maria Biggerstaff. And that person, Biggerstaff, then would be in that new document, and maybe someone is related there. Hold on, this is interesting. Okay, let me see now. Here we go, here we go, here we go. $139 more pages. Okay, at approximately 8:05, Brad Bird arrived at the Jacksonville Beach Police Department in order to conduct an interview. Bird had contacted the Jacksonville Beach Police Department on 6/14/2022 in reference to a conversation he had with Shanna Gardner in 2015 at his tattoo parlor. We heard about this before, right? The interview with Bird was conducted at the Jacksonville Beach Police Department. We heard like little bits and pieces of this, and we never heard this whole interview. In interview room 89, also present for the interview was Detective C. Johns. Bird began the interview explaining how and when he knew Shanna Gardner. Bird advised he owns a tattoo studio in Jacksonville Beach. Bird was able to recall specific dates because of paperwork documenting Gardner's appointments. Bird stated the two became friends because he could relate to her Mormon background because of his time in Utah. Bird would go on to explain that he remembers Gardner because of what he called the downfall of a Mormon girl. Bird advised that Bird advised she began to come to his establishment and get tattoos, and he was with her when she began to drink alcohol, after Gardner got familiar with Bird and his employees at the shop. Bird stated after a tattoo session, Gardner invited several of the employees out for drinks. Bird advised during this time, Gardner would talk too much about her divorce with Jared Britigan. During this particular incident, Gardner informed the group her life would be easier if someone would shut her husband up. Bird stated Gardner asked the group if they knew anyone who shuts people up. Bird advised at that point he did not take it to mean anything at that time. Bird would later describe Gardner as emotionless. Bird would go to explain he has had no contact with Gardner since August of 2015, after the night where Gardner asked about shutting up her husband. Bird did not have much contact with her. Bird would go on to explain he did not know the details of the murder when it was originally reported. Bird recently read an article and recognized Gardner. Bird stated in the article he read about an incident where Gardner was accused of placing cameras in her home. Bird advised Gardner would talk about this while at the tattoo shop. As Bird talked about the divorce, he stated there was clearly animosity between Gardner and Bredigan. Bird would go on to explain that there were arguments over the kids and her status as a Mormon. Bird stated he never met Bredigan or knew him in any way. End of interview. Copy is placed in the interview and property as evidence. On June 28, 2022, myself and Detective Jay Lamont met with ASA Christina Stifler. The ASA asked Elizabeth Smith to come to the 4th Circuit SAO to provide a statement recounting her experiences with Shanna Gardner and Mario Fernandez. These statements were provided earlier to detectives, but she did not want to be identified at that time. Smith recounted the following. She contacted a family friend who is an ATF agent. She stated she worked with Gardner in 2015 at a school. She stated they developed a close personal friendship and their families would often spend time together. Smith stated while they were working at the school, Gardner related to Smith, Mario Fernandez offered to get 4 guys and break into Bredigan's residence in the middle of the night and take care of him, and nobody would ever know. Smith also stated one evening while out for dinner, Smith and Fernandez had a disagreement over how to handle her child. During this encounter, Fernandez said to Smith, "You know, I've killed people before," which she took as a threat. Smith finally recounted Gardner walked in on Fernandez, taking nude photos of an unknown female and also getting erotic massages. Smith stated Gardner told her she only married Fernandez because it would look better in court for custody reasons if she was married. Also, her parents would give her more money if she was married. This concluded the statement, which was also audio recorded. A copy of the recording will be placed into property. Thursday, July 7th, 2022. While reviewing materials returned through search warrants and subpoenas, it was discovered Mario Saldana left the state on an unexplained trip out of state. Saldana left Florida and made stops in Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, before driving straight to Pennsylvania. After spending a little over a day in Pennsylvania, Saldana returned to Florida. The trip consisted of 6 days and lasted from 3/2/2022 to 3/6/2022. Saldana conducted his first interview with the Jacksonville Police Department on 3/1/2022. So look at that. His first interview, March 1st, then he goes immediately the next day on this road trip. Interesting. Abigail and Liam conducted interviews with the Child Protective Team on 3/4/2022. Saldana made the following stops from 3/2 to 3/6/2022. In Brunswick, Georgia, in Pooler, Georgia, or Enmarket, Florence, South Carolina. And that was, but the Buc-ee's was not built at that time. It was not opened. It is in Florence, but it wasn't open. Clinton, North Carolina, Chesterfield, Virginia, Fredericksburg, Massachusetts. Fredericksburg, Maryland, but that's not the right abbreviation. They don't even know their state abbreviations. It's MD, not MA. So he went to a Wawa. I didn't even know they had Wawas in Virginia. He went to a Shell Oil in Fredericksburg, and then he went on to Tarentum, PA, and then to Morgantown, West Virginia, to a Pilot, and Columbia, South Carolina, to a 7-Eleven. Due to the timing, and he made it from Columbia all the way back to Florida without stopping anywhere? Come on. Due to the timing of the trip in relation to the interviews, this unexplained trip was investigated further. Several days prior to this supplemented tip from Crime Stoppers made us aware of a truck in Gaffney, South Carolina, which matches the suspect vehicle in this case. At approximately 500 hours, Detective B. Burrell and I left Jacksonville Beach and headed towards South Carolina to investigate the above-listed Crime Stoppers tip. At approximately 7:30 hours, the stop was made at End Market Store gas station located at 907 US 80, Pooler, Georgia. A contact was made with Carissa Becker, manager, in reference to Saldana's stop at this location. Saldana stopped at this location on 3/3. An attempt was made to receive video. However, the video was no longer available due to the amount of time and the storage available. At approximately 1400 hours, contact was made with the Gaffney Police Department in South Carolina. The Gaffney Police Department advised the location of the truck was in the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office. Contact was made with Cherokee County, and deputies were dispatched to meet us at Bonnie's Auto Sales, located at 3502 Cherokee Avenue, Suite A, Gaffney, South Carolina, 29340. Upon arrival to Bonnie's Auto Sales, no employees were present, and the blue Ford F-150 in question was located on the property. The Ford F-150 closely matched the suspect's vehicle description, only lacking the toolbox. The Ford F-150 in question had a spare tire on the front passenger side. Several voice messages were left with Derek Elmore, the owner of the business. At approximately 1500 hours, Elmore arrived at the business and discussed the truck in question. Elmore produced documents for the purchase of the truck, which took place on 6/14/2022. Elmore purchased the truck from an insurance auction in Greenville, South Carolina. The F-150 was originally registered to Patrick Lee Miller in Townville, South Carolina. Elmore allowed us to enter the vehicle and inspect the interior and exterior. Upon further inspection, the original passenger front tire was located underneath the bed. It was determined this F-150 was not the suspect vehicle in question. At approximately 1900 hours, Detective B. Burrell and I arrived in Clinton, North Carolina. Saldana arrived in Clinton, North Carolina on 3/3/2022. At approximately 1000 hours and left 3/4/2022 at approximately 600 hours. While in Clinton, Saldana visited Walmart, McDonald's, and Ruby Tuesdays. It should be noted, no financial transactions have been located for a hotel for the night of 3/3/2022. At approximately 1950 hours, contact was made with Douglas Hearns, who is a loss prevention representative. Hearns provided a receipt and a video of Saldana's purchase. Hearns advised the video storage system had a massive error 2 weeks prior and caused all but 2 cameras to be corrupted. In the video provided, Saldana is seen purchasing various toiletries to include body wash. The following day, Hearns reached out the Walmart located at Tarentum, PA, to inquire about possible video. Saldana visited this Walmart on 3/5/2022 at approximately 8:30 hours. Hearns advised the Tarentum Walmart no longer has video available. At approximately 2015 hours, contact was made with the Murphy's gas station, which is located on the property of the Clinton Walmart. Saldana made a transaction for what appears to be fuel on 3/3/2022. The manager advised there was no video present due to the length of time from the purchase. At approximately 20:30 hours, contact was made with Ruby Tuesdays, located at 1118 Sunset Avenue, Clinton, North Carolina. Ruby Tuesday advised the business currently, blah, blah, blah. The manager, Caleb Moore, was able to provide us a receipt of the transaction. While reviewing the receipt, it appears Saldana purchased 3 separate meals. The total transaction amounted to $74.54. 3 separate meals. At approximately 8:30 hours, contact was made with Lieutenant Robbie King of the Clinton Police Department. In reference to this case, Lieutenant King assigned Detective Siebert to assist us while we were in the area. Detective Siebert was informed of the general area where Saldana's phone was present throughout the day, 3/3/2022. Saldana advised that there was a Tropicana supermarket in the area which sees a lot of traffic. Contact was made with the managers of the Tropicana supermarket, and video from 3/3/2022 was unavailable. The managers were shown pictures of Saldana and several associates. None of the pictures were recognized by the employees present. After leaving Tropicana supermarket, contact was made with McDonald's located at 418 Southeast Boulevard, Clinton, North Carolina. There was no available video at McDonald's. At approximately 11:30 hours, contact was made with the Sampson County Sheriff's Office while researching George Cruz, a local contact of Saldana's. It was discovered that Cruz had an associate who currently lived in Clinton, North Carolina. This contact was identified as Angel Gerardo Rapallo Amador. The current address listed for Amador was 2431 Turkey Highway, Clinton, North Carolina. Upon arrival, Amador's vehicle was in the driveway and the property was in disrepair. Several attempts were made to contact Amador. But no one came to the door. Surrounding properties were checked by Sampson Sheriff's Office. It appeared as if the residents were home, but no one would speak with detectives present. At approximately 12:45 hours, contact was made with the Duplin County Sheriff's Office in reference to the contact with George Cruz. At approximately 13:23 hours, contact was made with George Cruz, located at 740 Hallsville Road, Boliville, North Carolina. The interview with Cruz took place at his residence located 714 Hallsville Road. The interview with Cruz was not recorded due to Cruz's refusing to open the glass door into his residence. This is further explained below. Also present for the interview was Detective B. Burrell. Upon making contact with Cruz, he appeared to be extremely nervous and refused to walk outside. I'm not coming out. Once Cruz came to the door, he opened the solid front door but refused to open the glass outer door. The entire conversation with Cruz took place through the glass door. Cruz seemed uneasy and would not make contact for more than a brief moment. When asked if Cruz knew Mario Enrique Fernandez Saldana, Cruz denied knowledge of Saldana. I don't know him. Cruz was asked again, and he was made aware of his contacts through his cellular phone. Cruz again denied any knowledge of Saldana. I don't know him. Cruz was then shown a picture of Saldana, and he stated he knew him as Mario Fernandez. Cruz was asked what the nature of his relationship with Saldana consisted of. Cruz advised that he met Saldana online and two would play video games. Cruz stated that Mario helped him purchase his current vehicle, which is a white 2008 Toyota Tundra. Cruz could not remember if the vehicle was purchased in South Georgia or North Florida. Cruz stated he had been to Saldana's house several times but could not remember timeframes. Cruz was asked about Saldana's visit to Clinton, North Carolina, which took place 3/3/2022 to 3/4/2022. Cruz stated he did not meet with Saldana while he was in Clinton. Cruz stated he was unable to see Saldana because of conflicts with his job. Cruz was further asked about the cell phone conversations between him and Saldana on 3/3/2022. Cruz stated he does not remember what the two talked about because it was not important enough to be recalled. Cruz was further asked about the nature of Saldana's visit to Clinton, North Carolina. Cruz stated Saldana went out of town to do a send-off for the children's father because the family was not invited to the funeral. That sounds right? Cruz says Saldana went out of town to do a send-off for Jared Bridegan because their family was not invited to the funeral. Unbelievable. Cruz would go on to explain a conversation he overheard while the two were playing video games online. Cruz stated he heard Saldana and Shanna Gardner discussing the police were at their house to talk about Gardner's ex-husband's murder. Cruz could not specify when the conversation took place. Cruz was further asked the time frame of his conversation, and Cruz stated the conversation may have taken place the day after or a week after the murder. Cruz would go on to explain the last time he spoke to Saldana was a week prior to my contact with him. Okay. Cruz was asked if Saldana ever spoke about Jared Bridegan or the issues Saldana had with the Bridegan family. Cruz stated he does not have that kind of relationship with Saldana. Cruz stated he and Saldana only play video games and they share memes with one another. Cruz further advised he does not have any knowledge of the murder. At approximately 1640 hours, contact was made with the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office in reference to interviewing Taylor Lees. At approximately 1745 hours, contact was made with Taylor Lees, located in Fayetteville, North Carolina. At approximately 1645 hours, the interview with Lees was conducted at a residence located in Fayetteville. The interview was audio and video recorded using a mobile iRecord device. Also present during the interview was Detective B. Burrell. Lee advised that she met Saldana when she was a member of the ROTC at Vanderbilt University. Lees explained at the time she was attending Belmont University in Nashville, Tennessee. Lees advised she dated Saldana briefly while in college, but the two stayed in touch throughout this time. Lees would go to explain that she was not sure why Saldana left the military, but she believed he got kicked. Lees would go on to explain Saldana was very interesting during the time she knew and dated him. Lees further explained Saldana was funny, and I don't want to say manipulative. Lees advised Saldana seems more educated than he is. Lees was asked if she still communicates with Saldana, and she advised she does not. Lees stated that the last time she spoke with Saldana was in March. Lees stated she reached out to Saldana late 2021 seeking advice on dealing with her stepchild. Lees would explain she knew Saldana had experience in dealing with these situations. Lees advised she communicated with Saldana by text and phone. Lees advised Saldana described the interactions with Bridegan as difficult and not very easy. Saldana described a lot of arguing and fighting when dealing with Bridegan. Saldana described issues with the children's health and their disagreements, which were between the two families. Lees advised Saldana described Bridegan as a piece of work and frustrating to deal with. Lees was asked about her knowledge of the murder of Bridegan. Lees advised she did not know exactly when the murder took place. Lees advised she was contacted by Mario the day after the murder. Saldana contacted Lees, stating Bridegan was murdered the night prior in Jacksonville Beach. Saldana stated he didn't know who did it. Lee stated her last communication with Saldana prior to the murder was several weeks prior. Lees explained she felt it was random Saldana contacted her about the murder. Lees was asked about Saldana's trip to North Carolina, which took place 3/2/2022 to 3/6/2022. Lees advised she did not know Saldana was in North Carolina and he did not contact her during that time. Lee stated she did not know anyone currently living in North Carolina who Saldana would be meeting with. Lees advised an individual named Pedro possibly lived in the area. Lees provided an Instagram account of Pedro. Lees would go to explain that she never knew Saldana to be violent. Lees described Saldana as being aggressive due to his time as a drill sergeant. Lees advised that she has never seen Saldana act aggressively or violently in public. Lees described Saldana as thinking very highly of himself and very narcissistic. Lees was asked about Saldana's current relationship with Gardner. Lees advised it appeared Saldana felt his marriage with Gardner was ending. Lees felt like Saldana was angling to see if she was interested in a relationship with him. Saldana made statements that his marriage had run its course. Lees advised Saldana spoke about the divorce as if it was his idea. Saldana states to Lee that he has done his time. Lees would go to explain Saldana mentioned he worked out a contract through Gardner's family to marry him. Saldana mentioned this contract in early 2021. Lee speculated Saldana was providing protection from Gardner's ex-husband. Lees advised Saldana would never explain this contract in detail. Lees would go to explain she did not feel like Saldana would be capable of murdering Bride again. Lees described Saldana as someone who talks a big game but never acted on anything. Lees advised she never heard Saldana make any threats towards Bride again. It should be noted once the interview ended, Lees advised Saldana described the murder of Bride again as a hit and run, and that was said once Saldana called her on 2/16/2022. After the tire was removed. Okay, I think let me see where we are. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is do the word cookies, and then I'm going to have to get this advertised properly, and I'm going to probably get this part put into its own video and then continue this tomorrow somewhere else. All right, let me get the word cookies. Okay, 15 coins. Hold on a minute, I'm going to get a little energy here. Hi, Emmy. Hi, Emmy. I'm falling asleep and we can't get the end of this. Come on. Oh, that's it. I'm exhausted. And I've got to be on the hunt for people that like this case. So I'm going to have to start taking out ads tomorrow. Alright, I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm exhausted. Gotta go to bed. Bring your enthusiasm and your A game tomorrow. Talk to you later, guys. Love you. God bless. Bye, everybody. See you later. Prayers. See you. Bye. Take care. Love you. Be safe.